High above the rooftops of a quiet little village, where the wind often whispered lullabies to the chimneys and the moon played hide-and-seek behind drifting clouds, there lived a cat, unlike any other. His fur shimmered as if stitched from silver threads, and his emerald eyes carried the secrets of the stars. The villagers called him Whisper, but the sky knew him by another name, the Keeper of Night. Whisper was no ordinary cat. While other cats purred out of comfort or contentment, his purrs were woven with magic. Whenever his chest rumbled softly, the air itself seemed to listen. The trees stilled their rustling, the rivers slowed their chatter, and the restless winds folded themselves into slumber. His gift was ancient, inherited from the first cat who had ever sat on the edge of the world and soothed the stars into their proper places. But few in the village knew of this secret, for Whisper was a wanderer of rooftops and shadows, a quiet guardian who belonged more to the night than to the people below. One evening, as the horizon blushed pink and gold, the village children gathered in the square. Their chatter was lively, but something felt strange above them. The sky, usually soft with the coming of twilight, trembled with unease. The stars were slow to appear, flickering uncertainly, as if they were frightened to come out. Even the moon rose pale and hesitant. A great restlessness had settled over the heavens, and with it came whispers of worry among the villagers. Whisper, perched on the steeple of the old clock tower, twitched his ears. He could feel it too, the sky was unsettled. Somewhere, beyond the edge of sight, a storm was brewing. Not an ordinary storm of thunder and rain, but one of chaos and darkness. It rattled the sky, shaking the stars from their steadiness, threatening to turn night into a place of fear rather than rest. The cat stretched, his tail curling like a question mark against the wind. He knew what he had to do. His paws moved silently over the rooftops, leaping from one to the next with the grace of flowing water until he reached the tallest hill that overlooked the village. From there, he could see the vast stretch of heavens above clouds surging like restless waves, the stars flickering as if gasping for breath. Whisper sat tall, closed his eyes, and began to purr. It started as a low hum, gentle as the first note of a lullaby. The blades of grass bent toward the sound, and the restless leaves stilled in reverence. Slowly, the sky leaned in to listen. His purr deepened, carrying with it warmth, safety, and calm. Each vibration rippled through the air, smoothing the jagged edges of the clouds, coaxing the stars to return to their rightful sparkle. Children in the village looked up in awe as tiny pinpricks of light began blossoming one by one, as if Whisper's purrs were stitching them carefully into the dark fabric of the night. Parents hushed their little ones, pointing to the hill where the silver cat sat glowing softly, a beacon of calm. But the storm was not so easily soothed. A crack ripped through the heavens, and the darkness pressed harder, growling with winds that threatened to tear the stars loose once more. Whisper's purr faltered, his body trembling under the weight of the chaos. This was bigger than anything he had faced before. Still, he did not give up. The cat drew a deep breath, letting his heart guide the sound. He thought of the children's laughter, of the way the river sparkled under moonlight, of the comfort that sleep brought after a long day's work. He poured all of these memories into his purr, louder now, fuller, wrapping the sky in warmth. The storm raged, but it could not resist the song of love and peace. The clouds began to soften, their thunderous edges melting into pale silver wisps. One by one, stars twinkled brighter, shining like jewels freshly polished. The moon, once timid, now rose proudly, glowing golden and full, casting her light down like a blanket over the land. And then something extraordinary happened. From Whisper's chest rose not just sound, but light, soft threads of silver drifting upward, weaving themselves into constellations more dazzling than any seen before. A sleeping fox curled into the shape of stars. A soaring bird spread its wings across the Milky Way, and high above, a great cat shimmered, its tail curling protectively around the night. The sky purred back, echoing Whisper's song. The village gasped. for they realized they were witnessing a miracle. The children snuggled into their parents' arms, their eyes growing heavy under the gentle sway of the cat's lullaby. Houses grew quiet, one by one, as lanterns dimmed and windows closed. The whole village fell into peaceful sleep, comforted by the stars Whisper had stitched into place. When at last the storm dissolved into nothing but faint mist, Whisper rose to his paws. His work was done. The sky lay calm, sparkling with peace, as if it too had curled into slumber. Exhausted but content, the silver cat padded softly down from the hill. He moved unseen between alleyways and rooftops, his purrs fading into the distance like the last notes of a lullaby. From that night onward, whenever the stars seemed uncertain or the night grew too restless, the villagers would whisper a story to their children about a magical cat whose purr could soothe even the most troubled sky. And sometimes, if the night was very still and the world very quiet, they swore they could still hear it, the soft, steady purr of Whisper, cradling the heavens to sleep. No one knew where the cat went when dawn arrived, but some believed he curled up on the moon's edge, watching over the world until twilight returned. Others thought he walked among the stars themselves, guiding them into their places. Yet the children knew, deep in their hearts, that whenever they wished upon a star, Whisper was listening. And so, every night when sleep came gently upon the village, the stars shone a little brighter, the moon smiled a little wider, and the sky purred softly in return because somewhere, a silver cat was still singing it to sleep.